locked their mother in the car. And so I see some of the customers turn around and mouth the word. And another woman says, would a mother be able to let herself out? I think, well, child safety lock, rear lock safety things, and possibly missing reading glasses, and no, she couldn't. Then a middle-aged man grabs his key fob, heads out to the parking lot, and returns alone a minute later. And I also wondered, how did the waiter know that the woman in the car was an actual mother? Or even a real mother, for that matter. Family. Marvin Cohen is my first cousin-in-law. He's a very successful banker. And I've noticed that when he comes to family gatherings, rather than worrying about who he's met before or remembering the names, he uses a very nifty technique. He walks over, extends his hand, makes eye contact, and says, Marvin Cohen. And this is great because it encourages the other person to repeat their name when they shake hands. But decades have gone by where he's been in the family, and I've seen him at bar mitzvahs and weddings, and yet I still get Marvin Cohen'd by him. And I'm sort of tired of it. But I do have to tell you, I recommend this. Try it at your next social engagement or next business engagement. Like this. Marvin Cohen. Except you say your own name. Okay, so it's becoming harder and harder to invite people over for dinner. You have the allergies, the intolerances, the aversions, the people who pretend to be allergic because they're giant babies and they only eat 3 different foods. And then they all show up for dinner on the same night. I have the allergic to cilantro. Tastes like soap to them. It's genetic. They can't help it. I only eat shrimp and not fish friend. And I don't eat shrimp, only some fish if it's white and it doesn't taste like fish. Both over on the same night. My friend, a lifelong vegetarian, although he doesn't really seem to like vegetables. His wife told me that before they met and before he went gluten-free, his diet consisted of pizza and Captain Crunch cereal. And then there are my husband's parents. Mom, a Southern Baptist from Virginia, and Dad, a Yankees-loving Jew from the Bronx. In deference to her Jewish mother-in-law, who never forgave her for being a shiksa, she kept a quasi-kosher home. No pork, no shellfish. However, when we went out to dinner, his father would always order jumbo shrimp wrapped in bacon and a Fred Flintstone-sized pork chop. But no doggy bags, none of that food could come home. Very similar to a girl you would date, but not bring home to meet Mom. So my fellow comics in this class observed that I don't have a very loud voice. My voice is soft. That's why I'm so happy to have a mic today. When I'm at a party, I find myself yelling, but my words don't really travel very far. And I know a lot of my funny stories never get out there. I would definitely be the life of the party if they did. But on the other hand, I have an extremely loud sneeze. My family performs duck and cover during ragweed and pollen season. I wish I could sneeze on command, but I can't. However, I wrote a poem, and I hope that it'll bring us closer. Soft voice, loud sneeze. Cold hands, warm heart. Crouching tiger, hidden dragon. SpongeBob, SquarePants. Okay, I have 2 grown children. My son George, when he was 2 years old, was evaluated because of delayed speech. And a play therapist diagnosed him as having an immature play style. I'll repeat that. 2 years old, immature play style. The reason was that when presented with a dollhouse, instead of arranging the furniture in the rooms and having the family march through the front door like normal people, he shoved all the people and the furniture down the chimney. Later, away at summer camp, we received a letter. He loved camp, he said it was great, except for one very disturbing element. There was a boy in his cabin who didn't believe in evolution. George couldn't let it go. He tried to dissuade this boy from his long-held belief in creationism. I read his letter, I sighed and thought, kid, do your parents a favor while you're at camp. Go and weave a fucking lanyard already, would you?